Hello YouTube, my name's David and this is Life is Dandy. So in honor of Pride Month, we decided to film our coming out stories, and last week was Andy's turn, so this week it is mine. So if you haven't seen Andy's video, go check it out, we'll link it below. And you can also just go to our channel, hit the subscribe button, and watch his video from there. From whatever time it was that I realized I was gay to when I first came out, it was basically just me being more and more okay with it for myself until I was finally able to come out to the first person when I was 14. And the first person I told that I was gay was my mother. And I think for me, I decided to come out to her first because I knew that she would be okay with it. And it wasn't that I didn't think that anybody else would not be okay with it. I just thought that she was a good person to tell, and she would be able to help me figure out like who I wanted to come out to after and whatever. Basically, I sat on the couch in the living room just staring at her for hours. And after a few days of that, just off and on staring and off and on her saying, "What's wrong? Like, talk to me," I finally got up the nerve at like around 11:30 at night to tell her. At the end of this process, like I couldn't even say it. I had to write it, and I just like threw it at her, and she was really confused at first, but when she got it, she took it really well. And you know, she hugged me and I cried, I'm pretty sure, and she told me it was gonna be okay, and she was glad that I told her. After that night, she encouraged me to come out to my dad, and I did, and he was really supportive too. I think she may have told him before I told him, but after my dad, I told my brother, and how I did that was kind of weird. My mom had ordered this book on parenting like gay children, just sort of some information for her to help understand what I was going through. And I told her, hey, just leave it out. He'll come, he'll ask me, and I'll tell him. And that's pretty much what happened. But my mom told me that he went to her first and he was like, "What is this?" And she was like, "Talk to your brother." So he did. He was like, "Hey David, I got a question for you." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What is this book?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm gay." And it was really funny because his response to me saying I'm gay was, quote, "That's straight." And I was like, oh, okay. I'm glad that it's straight that I'm gay. It was good having everyone's support right off the bat. And from my brother, I told my cousin, and she took it really well. And she asked me how I knew, and I was like, because I like what I like. I came out to my parents and my brother and like my whole family at 14. Which was 8th grade for me. And then I didn't come out to friends until I was almost 16. And when I did come out to them, I did a group message to the people I wanted to know, and they were all really supportive. They asked if my parents knew, and I told them yes, and they had always been okay with it, and they had known for a while, and they asked why I didn't tell them sooner, and I was honest with them, and I said that it was just really, really difficult for me to find the courage to say those words. I think the reason that I didn't tell my friends wasn't because I didn't think that they would be okay with it. I just didn't want it to change like our friendship, and I didn't want news spreading to the whole school and everybody to know. But then, by the time I got to my senior year, my high school got a GSA, a Gay Straight Alliance, and attended that, just seeing the support in the high school, not from administration, they were definitely not supportive of the club as much as they should have been. But seeing the support among the students for the club and how many people actually went to it and all of that, it really made it easier for me to be more confident. And by that point, it wasn't like it was the secret of mine. If somebody had asked me, I would have told them, and I went to the club and I went on dates, and it was great. It was finally freeing, and I had friends who were gay. It was really nice to be among my people. So that's pretty much it for my coming out story. But I guess I'll end with some words of wisdom because, you know, I'm sure some of you are thinking about coming out or trying to get up the courage to come out or wondering if you should come out. And a few things that helped me when I was coming out, one was watching YouTube videos. I went to YouTube and I watched hundreds of people's coming out stories. And I think some of the best advice I got was, don't do it if you don't feel like you're in a safe environment. But I would say that if you do feel safe and you're not fearful of that, then just look inward, find acceptance for yourself, and then once you have that, you'll be more comfortable telling other people. Because really, once you accept yourself, what everybody else thinks isn't going to matter so much to you. And know that even if you come out to 10 people who don't react well, there's going to be 10 other people who do. And those are your real friends. Those are people who you want to call your family, even if they're not. You're going to surround yourself with people who love you and stay away from the people who don't and who can't accept who you are. If your son or daughter has come to you and they've told you that they're gay, I think the best response is just to tell them that you love them and that it's not going to change anything. It doesn't change how you see them. It doesn't change your relationship with them, because that's our biggest fear, is that we're going to come out to our parents and it's going to change everything and it's going to make them not love us. We shouldn't have that fear. And I think that eventually one day, hopefully, nobody will have to have that fear. So I think that's gonna do it for this week's video, guys. If you liked it, like it, subscribe, as always. Follow us on Twitter. We've been more active there than on Facebook or Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next week. We will see you next week because Andy will be here for next week's video. Bye, guys. Having everyone support lightning, thunder.